Hey everyone, as always, Dylan Miller Prospecting, and it's Paydirt review time again. Well, actually, it's going to be a Paydirt battle. As you all know, I am a huge fan of Lynch Mining's Gizmo's Paydirt, and a few weeks ago, I was on their website and I was going to buy a bag of their Gizmo Supremo just to pan out on the side without doing a review. And at the time, it was $92 shipped to my house. But then I decided, why not add in a bag of the regular Gizmos, just as, again, something to pan out on the side. But then I started adding up all the math, and while this bag cost $92 shipped, 5 bags of Gizmo cost $95 to ship, and I got 5 pounds of material. And I have reviewed all these bags before, and typically these come out a little bit over a gram, about 1.1 grams. While the Gizmos range from 0.2 to 0.3 per bag. And I figured if I got 0.25 out of each bag, I would come out ahead. And I would get to pan out 5 pounds of material. So I'm going to show the results from both of these bags and find out which one is actually a better buy. Is it the $92 bag where you get 1 bag, 1 pound, and 1 gram of guaranteed gold? Or do you buy 5 bags of Paydirt for $95, no guarantee, and maybe come out ahead? So let's just go to the overhead so we can classify all this Paydirt down, and then we're going to pan it out and see which one wins the battle. But first, here's both bags' descriptions. So as you saw, pretty good descriptions on both bags. The Gizmo's Paydirt Supremo had a better description in my opinion than just the regular Gizmos. Now let's weigh them up to see what they weigh. This one is 1 pound, 1.9 ounces. And we'll add all 5 bags on here to see if they weigh up to 5 pounds. If I can get them all on the scale. There you go, 5 pounds, 4.8 ounces. So obviously right now, getting 5 pounds of Paydirt is better than 1 pound, but the only way to really find out will be in the gold. So let's start opening some of these up. Start with the Gizmo Supremo. And I did see an Apache tear in there. Pretty big one. Some turquoise, which is pretty nice. It's been a while. Usually you don't find too much turquoise. A nicer piece of peridot, bigger piece than I'm usually finding in these. Ruby, so pretty excited about that so far. Now let's just check it to see how much magnetite is in here. A little bit, not too much. Definitely not the 20% that they say in the description. And I'm also seeing some pieces of gold in here, which is nice. So that's not too bad. Now let's open up the Gizmo's Paydirt and see what all these are. We're just going to dump them all into one little pile. You can definitely see the difference in that bag's material than the other bag. That one bag was pretty light material. I wonder if they got it from a different part of the hill. And this one's a little lighter again. And I will rinse out all these bags as always, just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And back to a dark bag. So there you go. Check it for magnetite. I did see some stones as well, but they looked a lot smaller than I got in the Supremo bag. I won't be able to check this as thoroughly. But it looks about the same. I would say pretty much equal to what you got in that bag. So I am not going to film me classifying this down. We're just going to cut straight to the panning. That way I can show you more of the panning and keep this video at a shorter length. So let's just get some water, pan this out, and see which one of these has more gold. Well, I'm back. I decided I would show off the classified Paydirt so you could see the difference between the 1 pound Gizmo Supremo bag and the 5 pounds of Gizmo's regular Paydirt. Now, as you can see, there is far less in the plus 10 material, but the other classifications seem the same. And this is from the Gizmo Supremo bag. And in comparison, you have the 5 pound bag, or the 5 pounds of Gizmos, and it's pretty much the same thing. Equal parts in the lower classification and a lot less in the plus 10. Now, as you can see in the plus 10s, the gems, you obviously get a lot more if you buy 5 bags of the Gizmos than the 1 bag of Gizmo Supremo. But I think the gems so far, just by looking at them, are much better quality and size in the Gizmo Supremo. But we'll have to see once we pick them all out. So now let's go to the water and pan all this Paydirt out and see where all the gold is. So have my water, have my pan, have all my Gizmo Supremo here, as well as the 5 pounds of Gizmos. So we're going to go through all this, pan it all out, and see which one is more fun, has more gold, and gives us a better ROI. So leave a comment below which one of these you think is going to be better deal, the 1 pound of Gizmo Supremo or the 5 pounds of Gizmos. So let's just get started with the Gizmo Supremo and listen to some music. Well, finished panning everything out as you saw, and that was fairly easy Paydirt to go through, but we will talk about that in a minute. For now, let me just show you what I found, and first we're going to go through the gems and the difference between the two bags. Now, in the Gizmo Supremo, I found one Apache tier, one kind of beat up piece of turquoise, a really nice piece of turquoise, some peridot, ruby, some other things, so not too bad. Nice little find there. And then in the 5 bags of regular Gizmos, I found some beat up turquoise, some more peridot. There was a couple big pieces in here, which was pretty nice, so I definitely made out better with the peridot. Some other little stones, but nothing except for really peridot that there's a couple big pieces in. The turquoise is all pretty beat up. So I would call that about a tie. If you prefer peridot, you would get a lot more from the Gizmos. But if you want a chance at some nicer turquoise or an Apache tier, the Gizmo Supremo. But now for the real important part of the battle, the gold. Let's just show you the gold I found in the Gizmo Supremo. And there you go. A nice, really nice little nugget in the plus 10. Not too much in the minus 10, plus 20. And then a lot in the minus 20. And there was one tiny little piece in the minus 40. So let's just weigh this up. We're going to start just with the nugget. 0.590. So in the plus 10, 0.855. Going to add in the and then we will add that one little bitty minus 40 piece. Not going to change anything. There you go. So there you go. 1.420 grams of gold out of the Gizmo Supremo. And now in the 5 bags of Gizmo, even more gold. 4 little pieces in the plus 10. A nice little pile in the minus 10 plus 20. And then again, a really nice pile in the minus 20 plus 40. And nothing in the minus 40. So let's weigh these up. Let's see what we get. About a 1/4 gram there. $1.415. So really close. It was only 0.005 away from each other. So I'm going to be right back, and we're going to talk about how the Paydirt difficulty are in between these 2 bags. Now for Paydirt difficulty and the comparison between the Gizmos bag and the Gizmo Supremo, or I should say the 5 bags of Gizmos versus the 1 bag of Gizmo Supremo. Now pretty much both of these bags are the same. I would give them a medium for a beginner panner and an easy for an advanced or expert panner. And the only real difference between the Gizmos and the Gizmo Supremo for a beginner panner is going to be the amount of material you have to go through. So it will be a little bit more difficult to go through the 5 bags of Gizmos or the 5 pounds of material because you will have 5 times as much black sands. But then again, since there was no real minus 40 gold in the Gizmos bags, and there was only one little piece in the Gizmo Supremo, if you didn't go through all the black sands and you missed that one little piece, it would not change your ROI. So this is really easy Paydirt to go through, and I'm only giving it a medium for a beginner panner due to the black sands. But if you don't go through them all, you probably won't lose too much gold. So now let's just get to the ROIs and figure out who the winner was. All right, finished calculating my ROIs, writing up my reviews, and let's get right to it. This again was from lynchmining.com. It was 5 bags of Gizmos regular versus 1 bag of Gizmo Supremo. The 5 bags of Gizmos regular had no guaranteed amount of gold, while the Gizmo Supremo was guaranteed 1 gram. The cost for the 5 bags of Gizmos was $81.40. Shipping was $14.50, so total cost right here, $95.90. While the Gizmo Supremo was $82.35 with $9.80 worth of shipping for a total cost of $92.15. Now, the gold I recovered in the 5 bags of Gizmos regular, I recovered 1.415 grams of gold, while in the Gizmo Supremo, I recovered 1.420 grams. Gold spot on the day that both of these were received was $60.02, which makes my gold value right here $84.93, while it makes the Gizmo Supremo worth $85.23, so a 30 cents difference, which makes my ROIs 88.56%, or on my scale an 8.9, versus a 92.49%, or on my scale a 9.2. So pretty equal. I mean, 30 cents worth of gold difference between 5 bags or 1 bag. Pretty close, but I will say the nugget here is, in some people's mind, worth more money because it is a nugget. But I will say it is really rare to find a nugget in a Gizmo Supremo bag, and even in the description they say occasionally a nugget, so it's not something that you will always get. And for the gems, I would have to say they're pretty equal. You will get a lot more Paydirt if you buy the 5 bags of Gizmos, while in the Gizmo Supremo, there is a better chance of finding an Apache tier and nicer pieces of turquoise. So for fun factor, I'm giving both of them a 9. I am dropping the Supremo down a little bit just because there wasn't any real minus 40 gold. Since it does have a good bit of minus 40 material to go through all that to find one piece of gold, I'm dropping it down a little bit to a 9. While the Gizmos, I am jumping up a little bit to a 9 because it was 5 bags of material and I ended up with the same ROI essentially as the Gizmo Supremo. So I bumped that one up a little bit. Now for Paydirt description, they're both getting an 8. While I do think the Supremos is a little better, I do think the Gizmos tells you a little bit different information. So together combined, they would be a really good description. They just both need a little bit of work. So they're getting an 8 for description. For quantity and packaging, they're both getting a 10. They both were over the weight stated. In fact, this one had 5 bags and 5 chances to go wrong, and every bag was over the weight. And also for packaging, Lynch Mining does a really good job of packaging. Not only do they ship the bags, but they put the bags in little bubble mailer bags and then put it in a priority mail box. So it is always double bagged. For customer service and shipping, they're getting a 10. I've never had any issues with customer service, and their shipping has gotten much, much better. These Paydirts actually shipped out within 48 hours, and not just getting a tracking number where it was actually at the post office. So really impressed with that. So total score for the 5 Gizmos bags is a 9.2, while the Gizmo Supremo scored a 9.2. So it's pretty much a tie. So it really just depends on what you're looking for. While this one does look a little bit more enticing because of the nugget, I'm not sure every bag is going to have a nugget as big as that or as nice as that. I think the gems aren't going to be a deciding factor for me. I think pretty much I have to go with a tie. I think either way you'll be happy if you bought the 1 bag of Gizmo Supremo or if you bought the 5 bags of Gizmos. I personally would probably buy the 5 bags of Gizmos if I wasn't doing a review, just because it would give me 5 times as much material to go through and I pretty much would get the same amount of gold. And I also think if you bought 5 bags of this, there's a better chance you would get a better ROI, because you might get that 1 bag that has a 0.4 or 0.5 that I have seen people recover, and then that would bump you up. But it's really up to you. I don't think you could go wrong with either one of these. I enjoyed both of them. I really do wish they had more fine gold, but these bags are more geared toward beginner panners. So That's going to be it. All that's left is to flash up the scores and give away a 24 karat gold plated dime. So let's just flash up the scores right here. Now for today's 24 karat gold plated dime winner, this right here is going to Aaron Bolden. So Aaron Bolden, make sure you email me so I can send this off to you. And to everyone else, thanks for watching. Happy panning. And if you're not already a subscriber, make sure you hit the subscribe button below.